Hey guys, so I came across a few studies, and these studies demonstratively proved that American citizens cannot tell the difference between facts and subjective opinions. When asked questions that were facts and opinions, 25% got the answer correct. I'm going to give you an example. Something like democracy is the best form of government. You choose, is this a fact or is this a subjective opinion? 75% of the people in the study said that it was a fact. And that's not the only question. You know, there were millions. There were tons of questions, a huge study of people in America that subjective statements and facts are hard to differentiate within American populations. Now, there have not been studies in other countries, which I would find absolutely fascinating, and I'm still digging for those. But what it does suggest is that it leads to the conclusion that Americans are very easily misled, manipulated by false information, which suggests that we are overwhelmingly closed-minded to anything that goes against our beliefs, even if it's a fact. And I'm going to give you an example of gun regulations. You know, America owns the most guns out of every country. We have almost 100 guns per 100 people. It's something like 90, but that equates to almost a gun per person, which obviously not everybody has guns, but you know, the study is that. But the thing is, we are 115th out of all the countries with gun crimes. But people that are against guns will say that that's crazy and that's, you know, not even a factor, when in fact you look at a country that has somewhere around 20 guns per 100 people, but yet their gun crime is huge. You know, they are like in the top 10 or maybe even at the top, okay? And so it shows it on, this is not like a cited situation, it is an American situation. While doing the study, what they feel the issue is fake news. We have been inundated with so much fake news and so much propaganda that we no longer can tell the difference between what actually is a fact and what is an opinion. I remember when I taught 4th grade, and you know, they would have to choose, is this subjective opinion or is this a fact? We did it in science, we did it in English, you know, for test preps. And it was easy for them, you know, but they haven't been indoctrinated to the years of it yet. So obviously I haven't done a huge study of students, but just from my experience of looking at children and when they're learning the difference between a subjective opinion such as potatoes are delicious or potatoes are grown in the ground, which one is a fact and which one is an opinion, they could easily tell the difference. So it obviously is not inherently in our DNA, but it's something that happens throughout your lifetime. And the only way that we will be able to heal as a nation and come together and start holding our government accountable and having transparency and all of the things that we want but we're not getting is to get the facts and the truth, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do a series of videos on 9/11 mainly. I'll probably throw in some other things, but I want to focus on 9/11. Actually, it's going to be 9/11 to extortion 17, really, but I'm also going to do some stuff about Benghazi and everything in between. Obviously, I could start with other stuff, but because that was such a monumental day in everybody that is alive at this time. You know, obviously we could talk about Pearl Harbor and what happened or what didn't happen, but I want to make it relevant and to the people that are still alive, you know what I mean? That way, whenever we can accept these realities, we will be able to look forward and see things differently. That's my hope anyway. To where you're looking at facts. You're not just believing what you see on TV or on a YouTube video or in a meme. It's amazing how many people think that just because it's on a meme, it's true. You know? I mean, I'm guilty of it, you know? I'm like, oh yeah, and then I think about it and I'm like, I should probably fact check that. So I'm going to start at that. And some of it's going to be tough for anybody that doesn't know the truth about 9/11. And obviously I don't know every single thing, but I feel that I have a pretty tight grasp on a lot of it and the truth about Osama bin Laden. The reason I say Osama bin Laden is because of the fact that that's kind of where our terrorist stuff started. You know, the boogeyman, the phantom enemy that we've had. And so I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to title this stuff because I don't want it to be demonetized or censored, and I want people that aren't normally looking for 9/11 truth to see it. So I'm gonna have to kind of finagle that somehow. I might make some funny titles. I know it's not a funny situation, but so if y'all see something that's like a funny title or something, it's probably about this, and it's gonna be something serious about this. Okay, so I'm going to start out today with just, you know, a taste of what we're going to be going throughout the series, and let's get on that. Y'all have a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and always donations are very welcome. As we all know, people are really censored. The truth is censored. Since there's so much information that goes along with 9/11, I want to really focus on the things that a lot of people might not have looked at, and then some things that maybe people that have not even looked into 9/11 truth need to know. There's just so many inconsistencies. There was never a real investigation. This PROMIS data is key to a lot of things. I'm going to talk about that. This is extortion 17. I mean, right here, just look, toasted cars. These are the people that, with the money, all of those people, millions, trillions of dollars missing. And I mean, none of it adds up. This was something I will go into more detail about each one of these pictures. And not only just the pictures, but the research and facts that I have come to find out, and those type of things. Right here, this is the supposed Osama bin Laden. That is a big factor here. There was no Osama bin Laden legitimately. And we create these phantom enemies right there. That's Tim Osman. Oh, look, but that's Osama bin Laden with Condoleezza Rice. That is, there's just so much that I can't just make one video. But you can definitely pause it. This is just good photoshopping, huh? It's actually bad. That guy right there is a Spanish politician. The Navy SEALs aren't the ones that killed Osama bin Laden. Nobody killed Osama bin Laden. It was some Afghans. But I'm not going to tell you, like, everything all at once. And it wasn't even Osama bin Laden at the compound. These were the drones used in the 9/11 opinions, I guess. This is us creating terrorists. Us and Mossad, obviously. All of the neocons. All the puts they put on during the just so much information. Again, you can pause it to read all of this stuff, but it's just overwhelming, and we need to realize the truth. Most people don't even realize that all of these guys that supposedly killed Osama bin Laden are now dead themselves. Why? Because this is the guy that was actually killed. Yeah. So this was needed to hide the slush fund that they had stolen back in the USSR, and that's going to come into play. But there are so many witnesses or victims that, like, she lost her husband in 9/11. They offered her money to shut up. 1 week after she met Obama, she mysteriously died in some random plane accident. And then we have Miss Bertha Champagne right here. This was Marvin Bush's own personal babysitter for his children. She was found dead in their driveway. This is Barry Jennings. He was a janitor or an engineer, found dead. This man was the attorney that was representing them. We have this witness also mysteriously found dead. All of these witnesses, this was a fireman that spoke out about hearing booms and all of this. The pilot from that originally was filming everything, he mysteriously was killed, and the reporter that was with him wasn't killed but was so scared that he never talked again, and he hasn't been seen. And all of this, you're probably asking why. Well, the Patriot Act was one of them. They'd already implemented it prior to. So they do all of these things to keep us in chronic fear so they can have these wars, tear up these countries that are supposed terrible places, and use American sons and daughters as cannon fodder. It's sad, and not only is it sad that all the lives we lose there, but we lose 22 veterans a day to suicide. This means just keep going forward. But, you know, to the people that say that, I've had some harsh comments about I'm an embarrassment to the veteran community. I suggest you really read this. Our oath has no expiration, both foreign and domestic.